Welcome to May's edition of Beyond the Pole, where we unravel inspiring stories that shape and transform society. We are broadcasting from Essex House in Achimota, Accra, Ghana. Here are the headlines. A 27-year-old female boxer shares her journey into boxing despite steep challenges. On Mother's Day, we spotlight Hannah Ewuji, a mother of a child living with cerebral palsy. We also delve into the world of robotics in Ghana. On Green Africa for this month, we extend our reach to black soldier fly farming as an alternative protein feed for fish. For our international news, we will explore Nairobi, where Brenda will update us on how cycling is evolving in Kenya.
Nairobi, Kenya's bustling capital, is home to a growing and dynamic cycling culture that blends urban commuting, recreational biking, and competitive cycling. Today, the streets buzz with energy simply because we have a community ride courtesy of Critical Mass Nairobi.
We have these stories and more. Stay tuned. I am Mike Kojo Frimpong. Thanks for staying tuned now to our very first story. Boxing in Ghana takes a facelift with the rise of Janet Aqua, a 27-year-old boxer who is reimagining boxing and empowering young women to rise above societal challenges.
Despite Ghana's fine trajectory of churning out boxing champions globally, boxing remains quite a dormant sport in Ghana due to the popular notion that it is for street tags and is culturally dominated by men. To better understand this, today I am in the boxing arena here in Bokom in Jamestown, and I would be speaking to Ghana's female boxer, Janet Aqua, who is redefining this notion. Come with me. Hey. Hi, nice meeting you. Finally, Ashia. So this is Ghana's fastest rising female boxer, Janet Aqua. Janet, I want you to tell us, who is Janet Aqua? Let's better appreciate your story.
Okay. My name is Janet Aqua, as usual. I for Midi Second Month. I form a choco. In of Fiano a choco. Mammy Shamlo, Papa Yawu. From the manager, there is no money in it. Can send me in Quincy and Queen Scabeshian. But street and Baozo. Me was a pololo.
What were you doing on the streets, and what time did you, at what age did you move to the streets?
But street and 12 years. Nimba street and on me was a man maloto. Nyema say, challenge bien. Nyema say, I train and trick or penny fell like sharp on a telephone. Intellect.
So at the time, not then, not all the while. Now we dream me say obey a boxer.
Oh, now I'm dreaming. My dream by boxing was like that.
Not then and now.
Now me bubble.
Okay, but that time now was school.
Now me was school.
Now was GHS and not primary.
No GHS.
So you were in the junior high school at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. And now Ubo.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you enter into boxing?
I was around and one of the coaches saw me. The coach was MMA coach. He was staying with us at the Shiabu, and he saw me. Then I make Keke, kept me in my strength in Unyeke while I know you know wafe mashat. So in coming back in mashat, Bibio over shift keba Jamestown. Over camp or a Bibio ko e me no lume mashat no. By mashat boxing, even miss. No fiano ye man no she no. Oh, man, and I get in your war. Okay, can you watch if I money, my fee, my shate, or where my shate men on boxing coach and I get no buying you while a name, don't get say boxing more. So, coach, I need back I say boxing more, Nishima shate.
One of the very common statements out there is that boxing is for street thugs. Gangsters. When you say boxing, the first thing that comes into people's mind is you are a thug. Is that a reality?
No, I don't think so. And then the reason is immediately you turn into a boxer, you don't have to fight outside or
Okay.
in the ring.
Okay.
So being a boxer is very respectful sport.
You think boxing is a respectable?
Yeah,
Okay, sports. Okay.
yeah. Because if you don't respect yourself, you can't be a boxer. Care in your fight ko ni mano in Jeko. Ni moreover when boxing in life, a check certain things dream coming
Okay.
because
Anyone Shishi.
yeah,
How?
because ni mbako boxing man. If you're not by ya, if you're not by ya, no man say because ni mba boxing man me all these things in stop fin. Because now you can call tani o life o make in life. It's like a palibi come. No, if you're no focus, no no chumono. Ni diane no ke if you like Jeko in Jeko da.
Jane's journey has been remarkable. Now, she represents Ghana both locally and internationally.
And that was beautiful from Nana Ajua Boni on Janet Aqua, the boxer. To our next story, as technology continues to transform and shape our society, Joshua Ajeman is leading a movement of young innovators in Ghana who are creating practical solutions to societal problems through robotics and STEM education.
Imagine a world where tax-intensive job is being carried out by robots. Imagine a world where young Ghanaian youth are being taught to produce technological devices to make life so easier. I am Joan Teta Hinakwa. Join me as we delve into the life story of a remarkable individual by name Joshua Opoko Ajiman, who is using robotics to impact lives of people in his society and is also training the next generation of innovators.
My journey started back from the village when I was a kid, a village called Kasapen in the Afro region. So that's where I had all my basic education and junior high school education. Growing up, I loved computers, and when I first have experience with a computer, this was Pentium 1, the bigger system unit with a bigger monitor. We call that Etikopo, right? So when I had that experience, I was very curious to see how best the computer works. So after senior high school, I moved to Accra to study software engineering, how to build apps. It was a very short program. After 9 months, I could build websites, I could build apps. Then I started my first company called Personet at the age of 19.
What began as an experimental project has now evolved into a thriving venture empowering the next generation of African innovators across Africa.
2016, I met my partner Prince. Then we started the IoT Network Hub, which was a non-for-profit to bring young people together and teach them AI, robotics, and all that. This was 9 years ago. 3 years ago, in 2022, we started STEM-Aid to bridge the gap in STEM education because we noticed that STEM is becoming very hot, but then access to the learning kits for students and schools weren't available, and those that were available for them were very expensive. The likes of the robotics kits called Lego, it was around $600. The average parents can buy for their kids. So we designed STEM kits, low-cost kits that cost $30. A student can learn how to code, solve problems, and build over 200 projects using their kits. Our goal is to empower every African child with 21st century skills. So we're looking at communication skills, critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, creative skills, collaboration skills. These are skills that if students today, they don't have it, there's no way they're going to get employment in the future.
Students who initially joined the organization as interns shared their experience and acquired skill set, which have inherently enabled them to identify problems in their communities and provide pragmatic solutions. Joshua believes that young Ghanaians should not spend 17 years in school before being allowed to join the workforce.
Growing up, most of the time I see the things around me, like the traffic light, the street lights, and all those things, and I never knew how they work because in me, I thought maybe there was a switch to the street lights where you go and then you press and it comes on. But then I realized no, that wasn't it. So it was through technology, or there was a sensor in there that was controlling the whole thing. When I joined STEM-Aid, I got to understand how the things that around us really works. And I got exposed to a lot of technologies out there that most ladies my age do not even know about.
As you rightfully heard, technology is the key to easier life and quick employment in Ghana. I am Joan Teta Ahinakwa, reporting for Vice Versa Media Ghana.
And that was a beautiful story by Joan Tete Ahinakwa. Now to our next story. Mother's Day is celebrated annually to honor mothers for their selfless love, sacrifice, and dedication to family and society. Although it is a moment of celebration and merrymaking, for some, like Hannah Awuji, it is a time for reflection as she juggles building her career and catering to her child living with cerebral palsy.
On Mother's Day, we celebrate the resilience, love, and dedication of mothers around the globe. Today, we highlight on a remarkable mother who is a journalist and also a mother to a 12-year-old daughter who lives with cerebral palsy. So join me as we meet Hannah Agweji.
My name is Hannah Awaji. I am a journalist and I work officially with the Ghana News Agency as an online editor. But I also have a non-governmental organization. We've recently changed our name to Inclusive Family Alliance that advocates for parents of children with disabilities and children with cerebral palsy in Ghana. For a Ghanaian child, I think motherhood is something you always dream of. When we are growing up, you are given dolls and other things to let you have the idea that it's a nice feeling. So it's something that I always dreamt of, being a mother. I'm someone who plans. So I had a lot of expectations about how I wanted to nurture my child, what I wanted my child to be, the conversations I want to have with my child, even the schools I wanted my child to attend, were things I play in my mind. How I wanted us, myself and my husband, to parent the child we will have was another thing. And then I had my first child, Aram. Aram was born normal, in quote, no complications. I tell people that she is my easiest pregnancy. The other two I have after her were tough, but she was like the easiest labor and childbirth.
All right.
But then 3 days into Aram's birth, Aram had what is called neonatal jaundice. It's a yellowing of the eyes and the skin. And then we didn't know it was going to be something big, but 9 months into her life on earth, she was diagnosed with a condition called cerebral palsy. When I got the diagnosis that she had cerebral palsy, the first thought was, oh, this can't be, like it can't be happening that I have a child who has this condition. Like I told you, the doctor said, go read about it. And that was what we did. I came back home and typed cerebral palsy in Google. And when I read the description and definition of what cerebral palsy is, I felt, no, that can't be my child. So before I had her, I was the regular journalist going on assignments. You know, go and cover this program, go and do this. But when I had her, I needed to have time. So I had transitioned from a lot of, my office is very understanding or accommodating. Initially when she was young, I told my boss that I can't go on scheduled assignments. So I was working on a lot of press releases. Press release would come to the office and I work on it. And then after some time, I needed to grow, so I was made a sub-editor. So I used to go to the office and edit some stories in a day and then come back. I was closing very early so that I could pick her. At that time, she was in school. And then at some point, she left school. I wasn't able to move, or if I go out, I have to go with her, and I didn't have a caregiver. And I had done a lot of courses on internet journalism, online journalism. So at a point, I was made the online editor to handle our websites and editing of stories. So currently, that is what I do. Take last one. Last one. Last one.
Last one.
They are not taking. Oh, you know, there's a video that.
Oh, Aram.
It's okay. Let me see your mouth.
Sorry. This is the journey of Hannah Aweji. She's not just a mother, but she's a mother who is thriving regardless of the challenges. My name is Emanuela Akimbi, reporting for Vice Versa Media, Ghana.
And that was quite an inspiring story by Emanuela Akimbi. To our international news, Brenda is in Nairobi, Kenya to provide us insight into the revolution taking roots in cycling.
Nairobi, Kenya's bustling capital, is home to a growing and dynamic cycling culture that blends urban commuting, recreational biking, and competitive cycling. Today, the streets buzz with energy simply because we have a community rides courtesy of Critical Mass Nairobi. Today's goal is to promote the cycling culture in Kenya while advocating for safer streets, inclusive infrastructure, and with such a turnout, who knows what the future holds. I'm elated to meet one incredible individual who has represented Kenya both local and international platforms and continues to advocate for cycling here at home. My name is Brenda Nyambura. Come explore Nairobi on two wheels because every ride, I repeat, is an adventure waiting to unfold. Cycling in Nairobi is quickly gaining traction, thanks in large part to grassroots initiatives like Critical Mass Nairobi, a leading cycling group that has played a key role in promoting and normalizing cycling culture in the city, with continued efforts to improve infrastructure, raise awareness, and enhance safety for riders.
My name is Vincent Chege, sponsored rider by bikesandgear.net and a Giant Kenya. And I am a Kenyan cyclist. I've been cycling for more than 17 years. Being a village boy, so I started learning how to ride my bike from bikes on the village. So young boys like me who are much privileged, who had bikes. So that's how I learned how to ride my bike. And from time to time, I would see guys on mountain bikes, like doing proper cycling, and that got me interested. Cycling in Kenya is a powerful tool of resilience, opportunity, and untapped potential. As the activity grows across the continent, it continues to empower and motivate both young and old generations to dream big, ride further, and adopt sustainable mobility. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Brenda Nyambura, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.
Thank you so much, Brenda. Hopefully, cycling can become a dominant sport in Africa. This concludes the international segment. Up next is Green Africa with Nana Joa Boni.
Welcome to another elating episode of Green Africa. On this episode, we take you into the bustling world of insects. Meet the 25-year-old Ghanaian farmer who is pioneering black soldier fly here in Ghana. I know you're wondering, what is black soldier fly? Well, join me on this ride as we explore what this entails. I am the Naja Bunny. But hey, hello.
Welcome.
Yeah, no touching, right?
Right. You can have this one now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Samuel Boydu.
Boydu, yes.
Yes. So how would you want me to refer to you?
Oh, Samuel is fine.
Samuel is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm very intrigued, right? And I'm sure our audience are very thrilled as well. We want to know what is black soldier fly. But before then, we want to know how this all started for you. Mr. Samuel, please take me into your gold mine.
I'll tell you.
So how did this start for you?
Well, I have this godfather who is a retired teacher from the UK, who is currently a Kokrobite. And then he heard of these animals, and he told me he has heard of something called black maggots, and they can help cut down cost of feeding for fishes. He is a fish farmer, so he was really interested in using it to cut down his cost of feeding. So I did the research and came across them, black soldier flies, BSF for short, and I realized the potential they have. Apart from feeding livestock, they can help us get fertilizers. Apart from fertilizers, we can get biodegradable plastics from them. We can even get biodiesel from them. So I looked at it, and then I decided this is something I want to do as a business. So in 2022, I started this as a business, and started it as a small backyard something, and gradually it kept expanding. And today, here we are.
Okay. Did you ever study agriculture in school,
Never.
tertiary?
Never.
What did you study in tertiary?
Business-related stuff.
Okay. Maybe because of the maybe you're doing this because of the money, right? Or you've always been passionate about agriculture.
Yes, and yes, the money is also there. No entrepreneur will tell you they are not interested in the money. The money is there, but the passion is also there. Because if the passion is not there, looking at flies and deciding to grow flies, when I started, some of my friends were like, Sammy, what's wrong with you? There are other things, there are other big things we can do. In fact, I had other business ideas too. So some of them were like, why don't you go into some of them instead of agric? And even if you are doing agric, why flies? But I know what I saw and the potential I saw. And UN has 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and BSF alone cuts across 9 of them. The kind of impact they make is huge. They can actually help us reduce our sanitation problem here in Ghana by about 70%.
How would they be able to reduce our sanitation problems?
Well, our research showed that about 60% of the waste out there here in Ghana is organic.
Okay.
And BSF feeds on organic waste. The larvae feeds on organic waste. So you don't need to go and buy food for them. What they feed on is organic waste. Though maybe in the course of getting the organic waste, transportation and others, you'd surely spend. But it is waste. And they transform that waste into something valuable. So by the end of the cycle, you have the larvae, which gives you protein and calcium for your livestock. You also have biofertilizers. Whatever waste they feed on turns into fertilizers. So this is what we call the insect tree, or the rearing unit. So this is where we grow the black soldier flies, and when they do what we want them to do here, then we go back to where we came from.
Okay.
So this is an insect tree. This net is called a larve net. We call it a larve net. That is because this is where they meet and lay eggs.
So take us through the entire process of the black soldier fly.
Right. So we have the flies. And the flies mate, and before they mate, they will need sunlight in order to mate. That is why we are using the transparent roofing. Okay. It stimulates the mating. So they mate and lay eggs. They lay eggs into these, we call eggs.
Eggs?
Yes. We have this. We call it the eggs. So they lay the eggs into the crevices, then we harvest the eggs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we have something here we call...
this is made out of wood?
Yeah, just wood.
Okay.
What the carpenters usually call buttons, ceiling buttons. So we just cut it to the dimension we want. Then we just put thumbtacks, the pins, just to create a space between them. Then they lay the eggs into those spaces. So we have what we call an attractant here. So an attractant is something that has strong smell. The food that has strong smell. That's what attracts the female flies to lay the eggs. Because after they lay the eggs, they die. So they want to be sure there's food here for their offspring. Yes, before they lay the eggs.
They are caring parents.
Very, very caring. So what gives them the assurance that yes, there's food here is the smell. So we use things that have strong smell that attracts them to lay the eggs. And they don't want to lay the eggs directly onto the food source because the heat and moisture in the food can destroy their eggs. So they will lay close to the food source. So that is why we keep this here. Then they lay into this. Then we harvest it when we are ready. Then we go and grow them at where we came from. Where we came from, we call the larvarium. That's where the larvae are. But here is for the insects, the flies. So we call here the insect tree.
So what is your ideal advice to young people out there?
Well,
especially the graduates who say, White collar job is the way to go.
Yeah. Well, if you get a white collar job, it's good. You can do it, but don't wait for that. Or whilst you're waiting, get something to do. Yes, and don't always don't say I'm looking for a huge capital to start something. No, whatever small amount you have, start with it, and gradually you'll be able to expand.
Nanaja consistently offers great insights on green Africa. Black soldier fly in Ghana, wow, that's a game changer. Well, thank you so much for watching. This is how we draw the curtains on this month's edition of Beyond the Pole, broadcast from Essex House Studios in Achimota, Ghana. Don't forget to support the Unsung Heroine Initiative. To donate, contact us at the numbers on your screen. My name is Mike Kojo Frimpong, and this is Vice Versa Media Ghana.